Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Most of you probably don't realize how hard it is to put out these videos every week, but it is a labor of love. And I do have a source of inspiration. I want to put a special shout out to my friend, Rabbi Moshe Shiner from Palm Beach, Florida, who puts out daily chizik and Torah on YouTube almost every day. It's great quality. And Rabbi Moshe, I want to say thank you for being an inspiration to me. Check him out on YouTube. This week we start Sefer Shemos, and in Shemos, Paro points out that we are now an Am, a nation. In verse 9, chapter 1, Vayomer Alamo, Paro says to his people, Hine Am b'nei Yisrael, behold, there is another Am, and they're called b'nei Yisrael, Rav Atzam imenu, and they are greater than them. They are numerous. We got to watch out for them. What brought us to Paro's attention? And you could give many different answers. I'd like to offer one through the help of Rabbi Dr. Tzvi Grummet. At the end of his book of Bereshit, he points out that we become Bnei Yisrael at the end of Bereshit. Why? He says it has a lot to do with the sale of Yosef and his brothers, and the brothers going down to redeem Binyamin and Shimon, and them realizing their mistake of trying to sell Yosef and kill Yosef, and to realize that they could never really ever grow more than a family. They could never grow into a nation if they would leave one Jew out. And so, what Paro perhaps might be seeing in the Jewish people is not only just their great population growth, and perhaps the fact that we didn't change our names and we didn't change our language, but was that fact that we are a family, and that we treat each other like a family, and that we care for each and every one of our members of our nation like a family. That makes us different. And I can tell you personally, this past week, I've experienced that firsthand. I told you at the beginning, I'm in quarantine. Last week, I tested positive for COVID. And through a friend of mine named Ben, who's a great Baal Chesed, he called me up with my results. And he said, you may want to consider something called COVID therapy. I didn't know exactly what this was. So I called my doctor, and he told me it couldn't hurt. And so I thought it was a good choice myself. And he gave me the number of a place called the COVID Therapy Initiative. I called them up, and within a very short amount of time, I had a nurse administering to me this COVID therapy. And I have to tell you that within 24 hours, I am feeling so much better. I called them up and I said, I'd love to make a donation. They said, nope, we're all volunteers. I said, really? He said, we do this because we believe in it and we want to help people who are in need. This is what makes us great as a people. This is what makes us unique as Bnei Yisrael. Yes, we are a nation, but we think about each other first. I think about so many great organizations of Chesed, from Hatzalah to Chai Lifeline to Shalva, and the list goes on to Tomchei Shabbos, and there is no end. What is this about us? Because we are Bnei Yisrael. We have learned the lessons of Yosef and his brothers. And Achdus is our bellwether. How well are we doing? Well, how united are we? How well are we thinking about each other? We're should not be thinking about what makes us different, but we should be thinking about what I can do for the other. And I want to thank all my friends and my colleagues and my chavrusas and my davening partners, and who have all reached out, emails and calls and WhatsApps. What can we buy you? What can we shop for you? What can we do for you? Can we include your name in davening? That's Bnei Yisrael at its best. And Rabbi Grummet points out that in Yeshaya, in both chapter, look it up, 42 and 49, same verse number 6, Hashem says, I chose you as an Or Lagoyim. We are to be different than all the nations. How? We are to show everybody the importance of caring for one another. So thank you all. And I'm happy to tell you that I'm doing well. So please, if you're inspired, please pass it on. And remember, the secret to our success is our achdus, is our unity. Thanks for listening as always. Shabbat shalom.